but it doesn't, So trying the best, you have to try the best, right? And doing a lot of, I'm doing my antifungal protocol at the moment, and have a huge amount of low pH yogurt. It's a very very low pH. It's like 3.5 pH, so it's very very low. Said to be very good, and I've garlic and all that. It's just not totally. Anyway, and we're actually getting to the end of the Sabbath. In any case, but still, I think there's still a half an hour for the Sabbath to be over. Let's see here. Around a half an hour. 15:32. Anyway, so let's get going with what we were going by, and turn the mobile around. It's nice too that you can actually just put another battery in the mobile, but it's just better to actually having a bigger battery in it, so you can just charge it up and actually be ongoing. Some of the things that really takes a lot of battery if you're recording, that really swallows up a huge amount of battery. But anyway, but the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation. But whoa, we are gone a little. Were we not in Leviticus? I think we were. Let's see if we can just go back here. Number 12, yeah. And then we go in the offering and all that. And then number 13. And the Lord spake, and Jehovah spake unto Moshe and Aaron, saying, when a man shall... pretty much. Where did we get to? 7 days. I think we are here. If the bright spot be white in the skin, and his flesh and inside be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut him up, or shut up him that had the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his side be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark. I guess this is like what do you call it when you are putting people into a place where it's like a contamination. You believe they're contaminated, and you put quarantine. Oh no, to put them in quarantine. What's it called in English? Karantæne. Put that in Danish. Sorry. See if I can find it in English as well. I guess that's the nice thing when you know a word on one language and not on, you can't remember in the other language. You can just, sometimes, if I can actually write it in English, there we go. Quarantine, yeah.
Canteen.
Oh, that was really bad Danish, I think. That was anyway, quarantine. So quarantine, I'm not sure how you actually... Can I push it? No, I need to actually go over here and search it to actually get the... Oh, come on. Maybe I could actually just... let's go back. History. And yeah, take this one. And can I copy paste it? Yup. Copy. Go over another program. And there we go.
Quarantine.
Quarantine. So in regards to putting the person in a form of quarantine or isolation... seems to be the case here. As long as if he had some scriptures as well, that would be nice, if he still gets food in those 7 days and some scriptures to read and all that, so I don't know. And it was, it would be making it a little easier for the person to, 7 days can be, if you don't have anything, in 7 days, that can be pretty boring, I would guess. Well, maybe you can figure out something, I guess. You could, flute or something like that, whatever, maybe come up with, I guess you can find something out, Anyway, and the priest shall look on him the seventh day, and behold, if the plague in his side be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the seventh day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but escape. Escape. What is escape? Eruption, escape. And he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scape spreads much abroad in the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scape spreaded in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. Leprosy. A malignant skin disease. In clothing, a mildew or in clothing. So in clothing, it is mildew or mold. That would be fungus. So of course that was the whole idea of the video, right? In building, mildew or mold, fungus again. Actually, maybe we have on the computer. We maybe have some more information on that. Actually, on the word. Let's just open my biblical program here. That is portable. Wonderful program. Sadly, when you don't use the things, you have a way of actually. It does become a little harder to I have so many programs and so many things to read up on and this and that. I actually just say leprosy here. It doesn't really give me more information. It would be nice if I could just open all of them up but no, compare. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So infect. An infection of the skin, usually leprosy, and causes welts. I'm not sure what welts is, but maybe I can fix it on my computer. It's just leprosy. Just say leprosy in the program. I would have thought that there might have been some more information. Let's see, welts. I could have let's see, just the images, welts. Okay, let's just search it on so you can see it for yourself on what I'm showing. Welts. So annoying when you lose a lot of information that you actually have put aside to be able to read, and then it just closes down. I'm just I know I had so many things to read and study and all that in regards of all the tabs, right? And then you lose all the tabs on the mobile, and it's like. It's just nearly empty. I don't really have anything that, and I'm like, I know that I had a huge amount of things to, and these apparently are the welts, according to this. Doesn't look so good. It's like things that comes, I guess, out of the skin. And now, have problems again. That's typical on Google that, but I'm not sure if it's the browser's fault or Google, because Google does a lot of stupidity and makes, or did I use the DuckDuckGo maybe? I might actually be in the DuckDuckGo here. Yeah, and still the problem. So that's, I don't know why it would do that on DuckDuckGo. Seems to be same problems with Google here. But some of these big companies are really... fixing against these browsers. Oh, that doesn't look bad. Good. It looks pretty sad. There's differences apparently. Allergy, sufferer, Ryan, Pern, or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, some kind of a skin thing. That causes, usually leprosy that causes welts, also an infection of mildew or mold, as welts on clothing or building. To be infected with leprosy, mildew, or mold, fungus. Frequency 20 VF per all or pool, KGV, leprous, Tory, an infection of the skin, clothes, or building. And of course, fungi, I guess, can do all of them. They can infect buildings in regards of mold. They can infect clothes, and skin, and food sources as well. So anyway. Hornet from the world when stung, apparently. Okay, so. Okay. What do we have else? We have leprosy. Maybe I should turn it around here. The mobile camera here, or the mobile screen. Zaraat or something like that. Leprosy. I have a lot of those. Zaraat. I don't. There's one that has leprosy in regards to where he's instructed by God how to actually become clean. But overall, it doesn't seem like God is actually giving any instruction on how to become clean if you have leprosy, as far as I understand. But it seems to be a bad thing, If I remember correctly, the king that went into the temple that he shouldn't do, I think it was leprosy he got. So it's like a curse. It was like a negative thing, not a positive thing. Leprosy in people, malignant skin disease in clothing, a mildew or mold. In buildings, a mildew or mold. Origin, we have some origin here. Zara, to be diseased of skin, be leprous. I'm not sure what the QAL and PUAL means and all that, but to be a leper or to have leprosy might have something in regards of grammar or something like that. A primitive root to scourge, that is intransitively and figuratively to be stricken with leprosy, leprous. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can go. Can we go backward? No, apparently not. No, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Yay, perfect. Perfect. Here we have Zarayat. So leprosy in people, malignant skin disease in clothing, a mildew or mold, a building, a mildew or mold. So this is in regards of, mildew or mold is fungi, Either mildew or mold is fungi. Leprosy in people, same information that we had before. Leprosy, same information again. I probably can delete some of these. They probably have a lot of the same information in any case. So, less is better sometimes. There's huge amount of things that. Anyway. So if the priest see that, behold, the scape spreaded in the skin, then actually, by the way, cancer, doesn't it make something that goes outside the... Anyway, the scape spreaded in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. And a lot of people, right, that actually have so-called cancer, it's just a fungus issue, but as far as I understand it, they might actually be something that you can't see on the outside, right? It might actually be just something roaming inside of you. Yeah. And if the priest see that, behold, the scape spreaded in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in the man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. And if the priest see that, behold, the scape spreaded in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in the man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. Okay, yeah. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, So raw flesh in the rising, that doesn't sound good. Maybe we should take a look. I'll just warn you that it might not be so good in regards to, but let's see. Rising raw flesh. Raw flesh, medical condition. Let's try that. So let's see here. That's skin, right? The danger of eating raw fish. Oh, that wasn't really. Apparently, raw fish can do something. Scientist. That's a black. That looks like mold, maybe. I don't know what that is, but black. Of course, if you just eat some of these, you can. I can get a black a tongue if I want. If you just if you eat those, what is it called? It's also said to be antifungal and all that. That can be you can actually get a black. What is it called? I can't remember at the moment. Raw flesh. I don't know how raw. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, worms. I don't know. Raw flesh. Burn cream. I guess it would be like flesh going, but I'm not sure if that's flesh. It looks bad. It looks very bad. Of course, the worst thing if it actually hurts and itches and all that. That's the if it's not really if you don't feel it that's that's one thing to have a damage, but you don't have but if you feel it, if you that's just annoying. Oh my. What is that? Disease with holes in. Oh, that might be those. Actually, that looks like these worms that actually. Maybe it's not, but this looks a little like it. Doesn't look so good, I must say. I saw some animals where these worms. I don't know if that is maybe something else, but the worms. If you put if you put your skin close to these worms, it would, and you pop these things out, the dog would have a huge amount of holes, in it. And I think you could also get that as a person, I think, as I understand it. But mostly it would be animals that lie close to or lay close, on the ground or whatever. It's interesting. Interesting. I do wonder what it is, this. Of course, I'm getting off topic. Wow. That looks so weird. So what is it? Is it a... That's... I just in case you forgot. Trophia. Is that the sickness? Trophia? Trophia, trophiophobic. I do wonder if that's what it is. I just have to trypophobia. Let's see what it is. It's an inversion to the side of a regular. No, that doesn't really seem to be the fear of holes. Apparently that doesn't sound like it's a sickness. Just the fear of holes, but that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's not real or trypophobia. Apparently the fear of holes, but come on, tell me what it is. What is this? Is this for real or not, or what is it? Here we go with something in regards of wow, doesn't look good. Whatever it is this fungus related or? Come on. Trypophobia. Is this a worm or is this... What is this? I want to know. It looks bad. Size, secret, whatever. I'm still, I don't know. I'm still somewhat intrigued by it in some sense. I just wish I knew what it was. That looks like, I guess the blood thing is in regards of, and you have this white spots. Is that spores or then, or what is it? Why yeah, that's great, but where do I figure out where can I, where the picture is? Let me see what it is. Okay, I see. But of course that's not English, so that doesn't. What does it say? Ismi yu nan kan, yeah, whatever. Oops. Because it looks like, there's some white spots that. Maybe that's the old skin that it kills or something like that. Oh yeah, that's the breast. Oh my. What is this? Then we have some, that's from, that's a plant, so. Oh, that's another one in regards of holes. Oh my. But again, what is this fake or does this look like a plant that they have, I don't know what this oh, here we go with, oh, come on. Is this fake or what? What is this? It looks like fungus coming out of the person, These, it looks like fungus of some kind. 7. Trypophobia yata colisi. It seems to be trypophobia, but let's open another one. Paste and go. Trypophobia, but that's again just in regards of sickness, medical condition. Let's see. Medical condition. I see. If we find anything. Is it real and what are the triggers? No, that's just a fear, disgust of closely packed holes. People who have it feel queasy when looking at surfaces that have small holes gathered close. So apparently that's, if you see something, you can apparently have trypophobia. I really don't have that. So, but what is the condition? 82 best trypophobia images, whatever. I guess B's would be a problem then for you if you have a condition of whatever. I just don't understand. Let's see. It's really slow, I guess. Oh, that's just, whatever. Here we have, again, where you have a lot of, I don't understand. This is photoshopped. Okay, so I guess it's maybe not real. I don't know. Maybe it's just fake. Maybe it's not a sickness overall. But if you actually look at the dog, I don't know what the worm was called. I can't remember, but you can find it on YouTube. There was a German doctor down in Africa somewhere. Of course, that's a pretty big country. But he was down there, and and you could actually see these after he fixed out the things. You could. I don't know about this. If it's just photoshopped or what. It would look a little like. Let's try to copy that and I don't know. Yeah, whatever to English, Google Translate, maybe. Let's try to see if you can translate it. And see if it can figure out which language it actually is. Come on. Oh, come on. You can't paste it or what? Oh, there we go. That took a long time. Can you figure out the language for me instead? You know, because I don't know what language it is. Apparently not. Oh, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's Turkish. Okay, let's try that. And then just put it on English. Yep. And fear of holes may be temporary if you look at something with holes or pores. You may be extremely uncomfortable. However, when you look at the same thing a month later, you may not have any negative thoughts. So sometimes it can be, I don't know, it just seems like it's maybe it's just bullshit. Maybe it's just bullshit pictures, you know. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, pretty much that was in regards to the temple. Yeah. But yeah, I guess the worms was probably the closest. When you get the worms make like a hole in the skin, so I guess it eats you up in some, you can still survive and all that, just they pop out, as I understand, they pop out when they're done. But you can also, get them out because they, some of the animals they actually had to kill, put them down because they were so infested with these worms. They had them all over, and so, some of them they saved. I guess most of them, but it's apparently a big problem in the down there. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising. Oh, let's see here. I'm not sure how that, there be quick raw flesh in the rising, how that would actually be. The thickening of living flesh. Or maybe that could be, I don't know. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that had the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean, that had the plague. It is all turned white. And the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. I don't know. I don't understand how this is. If the leprosy have covered all his flesh, when you see the leprosy and all that, when it destroys the color of the skin and all that, that seems to be the thing that leprosy does. I'm not entirely, but you can see it on black people, and the black people, they lose their blackness in the skin if they have it, as I understand it, the images. But he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. So if a person is turned all white, he is then considered clean. So is the sickness just then cured or what? So it's only a condition that is going on until he has lost all his color. I don't know. But when the raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. So apparently, it's a little weird this, But when the raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. So I guess there's some raw flesh that can appear as well. Let's see, leprosy, raw flesh, Let's try that. Leprosy, raw flesh. We'll probably also see some images of, some black ones that goes white. I don't know. History and causes. Outside the brain and spinal cord called the peri. Let's see here. Some images. See what we have. Probably not going to be. So here we have some raw flesh. It seems, that would be, I guess, raw flesh, right? I do wonder if it's a fungus condition or what, because it seems. Here we go with some. Is that fungus? That looks like fungus on her nose, maybe as well. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't look good on the face. Not sure what it is. View file, or maybe you view the. No, oops, that's not apparently not there. Okay, let's try. So this is. I guess that might be some raw flesh. We have a dog. Not sure about the dog thing. Picture of. I don't know what that is. Why she's trying to look. Oh, here we have. Here we have one of these pictures of a black man that you can see he loses this color. He becomes white. Would he then be considered unclean if he turns all white in the whole? What I don't know in regards to this sickness. Will he continue to become white as time goes, and then if he becomes all white, pretty much a white man, will he then be considered clean? That was something in regards of some of these sicknesses that really, really, made your things, as you can see, it doesn't look good in regards to the fingers and all that. Here we have something that's bloody for sure. Not sure what it is exactly. Maybe a toe or something like that. I don't know. Doesn't look good. Here we have something in regards of scars coming forward. Again, the quality might not be so good because the browser is. They sometimes have. That's coming forward again on the skin. At least they have something to see, in regards of issues. So the doctor can say, "Uh-oh, yep, you have something," instead of just hidden disease. So that's at least, something to go after in regards of what it is, We have in regards of fingers. I don't know. That seems to be a little fake. That one on. Poor man laying there. It's looking like he really needs some food. That doesn't look good. That looks really, really bad. He really needs some food, that guy. That's bad. There we have some bloody foot here. Not sure what that is either, but that might have something, something. Apparently, just close it out. See here. No idea why we see these weird things. These things they're holding. Not sure what they are. Or what the idea is with it. What was it? How many people was actually starving in the world? There was a huge amount of people starving in the world. Was it 1 billion people or something like that out of the 7 billion people that actually have food issues? That might be some in regards of where she's losing the color. And again, that the description in the Bible, losing that color. But besides that, it's we have a lot of dog photos, but it's not really the dogs that we would. Yeah, not sure what that is either. Doesn't look good. Oh. What would the Beatles have to do with that? Give me a break. That dog doesn't look good either. Can dogs also get leprosy? I don't know. Apparently we got a lot of, I don't know. Anyway, I guess, yeah. Oops. Oh well. Let's go on here. So he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. Is that Lavan? That's probably Lavan. Okay. But when the raw flesh appeared in him, so if he's totally white, apparently he's considered clean. But if something, raw flesh appeared in him, he shall be unclean. So I don't know if the condition, if the sickness can actually sleep, if it, I don't know if it moves and take all the color of the person and then it just goes to sleep or what. I don't know. And then sometimes spring forward in regards to maybe to try to infect others in regards to the sickness. And I don't know how they would spread, if they have some kind of spores or whatever, But anyway, I'm not even sure if it's but it seems like it could be fungus related, because they talk about it as well in regards of the clothing and the houses and so forward, in regards of color and all that. But when the raw flesh appeared in him, he shall be unclean, and the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean; it is leprosy. So the raw flesh of this, are we still there? Plague and be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. And okay, we get a little. No, where was we? And the priest shall see him, the raw flesh, and pronounce him unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean. That would be tame. That's unclean, impure. Okay, it is leprosy. It is leprosy. It is sarad. Or mold, maybe, I don't know. You see, in clothing, a mildew or mold. In buildings, a mildew or mold. In people, a malignant skin disease, which might be fungus related. If the other things are mildew or mold. Actually, why did we actually got more information? That was actually nice. No, there was even more information in the other, wasn't there? Let's see, what was it in the other? Let's see here. H. No, that we don't. Oh, that was okay. That was another word. Okay, but anyway, so we are in the right direction of fungi at some point. So if it's just it might just be a fungi thing, and the priest shall see. Did I actually? I got all four. Yeah, I got all four. I think in regards of the nice stats, and so the sun sets, and then we'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So I'm nearly on my. Actually, I would then have completed 7 days of nice stats now, so that's good. So I think I'm pretty much ready actually to diflucan, but I haven't gotten diflucan. I'm not. I don't know if I can get it before. The doctors are those white coat murderers and butchers. Don't really, are not really so fond of giving me. They are keeping 8 minutes ago the sun set, so we actually in the beginning of the week. So that's what is called Shavua Tov. I think it's Shavua Tov. You have a good week, all of you. Because we're the beginning of the first day. And the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that had the plague, he is clean. So apparently this condition can begin to sleep maybe in the person, and then spring forward, and then again go back. I guess we have another condition that many people have in regards of that is, I think that, I don't know if they, I think it's bacteria related, I'm not sure. But in regards of this kissing thing and all of that, and you can get it, and it's sometimes spring forward, and you can get these sores, at your lips and all that. And then when you have it, it's what do you call it? Contagious. What do you call it? It can spread, from one person to another if they have it. It might actually also erupt in the sexual organs. I think there was something maybe on that. In any case, bad, really bad. Anyway, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and had the plague, he is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed. So a boil, inflamed spot, inflammation, and is healed. And in the place of the boil there be a white rising or bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be inside lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, so apparently lower in the skin and it white. I'm not sure why it would be lower in the skin, but the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy, broken out of the boil. So it's broken out of the boil. Oh, it's so the boil is like a thing of and in the place of the boil there be white rising or bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, be inside lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy, broken out of the boil. So he starts out having a boil apparently, and I guess a boil would be like a bump or something like that. Let's just see it. And if it actually, if it actually gets lower than the skin, it's actually broken out of the skin, I guess it then begins to spread or something. I don't know. Let's see, boil, medical, boil, human, maybe human, medical. Let's try to see. I would guess it would be like a bump in the, like this. Yeah, okay. So they have like a bump, and this is actually white, isn't it? There's a white boil there actually. And boil is like, so if it actually is lower than the skin, when they begin to see it. So let's try again. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be inside lower than, and in the place, let's see, just turn it around here. And in the place of the boil, there be a white rising, that seems to be, with the pictures that we had, that seems to be white, right? In regards to some of the boils, that's whitish, and this is whitish as well. How to cure a boil, white. Let's also have some white in it in regards to this thing. Oh, that's nasty. Nasty parasites apparently. Here we go with some white boils as well, or pimples or whatever. Doesn't look good either, but at least it's more of what we're looking for, or some of the. I'm not sure, it might be another sickness or whatever, but come on, what is it's yeah. And this is like assumed on skin. Well, any case, we it's a boil. It's something that is like a bump in the skin. So in the place of the boil there be white rising or bright spot, white and somewhat reddish. Well, yeah, that would be what we saw. That seems and it be showed to the priest. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be inside lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy, broken out of the boil. So the boil has at that point broken, the sickness has broken out of the boil at that point. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. It's a plague, it's a sickness, it is apparently a stroke, of disease, a mark. Okay. But if the bright spots stay in the place and spread not, it is a burning boil. So it's okay. So if the bright spots stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. So if it just stays the same place and all that, and then it's just a burning boil. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be inside deeper than the skin, it is leprosy, broken out of the burning, I don't know if that's the best word, a mikveh. A mikveh is in regards of collection, it's not maybe it's, I don't know, mikveh. If it's a mikveh, like mikveh in regards, anyway, they say it's burn spots, burn scar, but I don't know. A mikveh in regards of a collection of something, I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but in the bright spot be turned white, and it be inside deeper than the skin, it is leprosy, broken out of the burning. Again, a mikveh is like a collection, like the collection of water, a collection of a collection of water, like a mikveh, Is it mikveh? I thought it was mikveh. Anyway, wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Here we go around leprosy. Sarath or something like that. Sarath. And if the bright spots stay in his place and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. That's sarabeth or something like that, of the burning. Mikveh. Again, mikveh, I do wonder in regards of if it's not actually translated or the same word. A mikveh, a collection of, I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong. Mikveh, isn't mikveh in regards to the begin? Let's see here. That's Genesis 1, someplace in regards to the waters together. Just the question, where is the mikveh in regards of that? Let's see here. And the earth and so forth, it comes a little lower. Gather, and the water, Hamayim, but called his seas, but where do we have the mikveh? I don't know, it's somewhere in the, in regards to the Mayim, where he collects it in a mikveh, and of course a boil would I would think could be a mikveh in regards of an issue, of... Anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong on that, but... for it is inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague and behold it. If it be inside deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry skull, even a leprosy is dry skull, a skin eruption, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. And if the priest look on the plague, if the priest look on the plague of the skull, is that like a head, skin eruption, or apparently skull, and behold, it be not inside deeper than the skin, and that there is no dark hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague. It's like this sickness seems to go for the hair, or what? Go after the hair. Is that the entrance point that it has to the skin, or? Anyway, hair in it. Then the priest shall shut up him that had a plague of the skull 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, and there be it no yellow hair, and the skull be not inside deeper than the skin, he shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave. And the priest shall shut up him that had the scale 7 days more. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scale, and behold, if the scale be not spread in the skin, nor be inside deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scale spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. Shall not seek for yellow hair, for he is unclean. So if the scale be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. So if the scale be spread in the skin, okay. But if the scale be in his side at a stay, and that there is black hair grown up therein, the scale is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. If a man also or woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. A freckled spot. A harmless eruption, okay. And the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. Okay. So apparently something in regards to dropping. Okay. And he that had his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet he clean. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white, reddish in his bald head, or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appeared in the skin of the flesh, he is leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. Utterly, apparently, okay. So it's like, okay, 2 times. Tame, should I? Yeah, could we go back? Yeah. Could we just go back? There we go. So he's utterly unclean, his plague is in his head. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, so it shall be destroyed, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lips, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. It sounds like this sickness actually is only for, for times, it's not, yeah. So all the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. Tame, defiled, he is unclean. Let's see what that does. Okay, same. He shall dwell alone without the camp, shall he his habitation be. So he's not allowed to be in the camp at that point. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be woolen garment or a linen garment. So the garment also that the plague of leprosy, that the negar of leprosy is in, whether it be woolen or garment or linen garment. So here we see in regards to what they might actually have used in the past, woolen. I prefer the wool over the linen. at least for underwear in regards of if you get some really good wool, merino wool, really fine wool that doesn't really, it's really wonderful for an undergarment. Linen is not so good as undergarment, at least my experience is that, you really need to, linen can only last for a day, as far as my goes. But the woolen garment, you can if you're going out traveling and you're traveling lightweight, you go for the wool. It's it has so many positive things in regards to the wool. So but it is it's easier to destroy the wool than the linen. The wool is much more, it can break, where the linen is much more solid in regards of course it depends on what you buy, because some of my t-shirts and linen is breaking apart. I'm not sure if I actually have more of them, but they were really, 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 that's like summer clothing, really thin. So, but the underwear I have of linen is really tough. You don't just break that around. They really they're sturdy. But of course the price was also just horrendous. In some sense. But the woolen garment is I think it's the best in regards. It keeps you dry down there, and if you have issues in regards of dripping or whatever, you can, if you have the fat in the wool, it will just make it into soap, and so that's nice. And it keeps itself pretty good clean, in some sense, they say you can just take it and put it up on something to have the air go through it and all that, and that should actually keep it pretty good. So if you're out hiking and you have the possibility, of course, actually if you have two pairs, you can take one pair and put up in the wind while sleeping. You can just let it hang up there, and of course it would probably smell pretty good afterwards as well. I haven't tried it, but yeah. There was something in regards of irons or something like that when you hang up the garments to dry on. It just smells pretty good. It's just much better than this machinery thing, Anyway, whether it be in the warp or woof of linen or of woolen, whether in the skin or in anything made of skin. So whether it be in a warp, woven material, okay, or woof, that's a mixed interwoven and knitted material, of linen or of woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin, and if the plague be greenish, green, let's just go back, greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy and shall be showed unto the priest. I guess actually I probably should try to read this also in the other version I have, but sad, I still have it in bishop mode, I think. But the problem is I can't really, let's see here. How do I, they have this stupidity. This program worked so well beforehand, and now they pretty much just did stupid, I don't understand programmers. Programmers are just, they apparently seems to understand programming, and that's pretty much it. Apparently they have a lot of issues in regards of actually, it's just, anyway, let's see here, that would be Leviticus 13. Don't fix it if it works, it's just was so easy. Just do like this, and then you have the menu. Now you need to like push up here, and then you push there to get the menu. It's just, give me a break. Why do you, what, we didn't need that. Apparently some people wanted that or whatever. But if something works, don't fix it, okay? Apparently, many people don't understand that. But the problem with this program is I can't go behind. There's strongs in this program, but I can't go behind the strongs. But this is the English standard version, which apparently has stopped. Has not made it. They're not making it available anymore for the free society. So thanks for that. Now, of course, it wouldn't do much. I have it in this version, but still, the problem with this program is that let's see if I can find it. The problem with this program is that it's so slow. But I actually have it here. They really need to fix the speed of this program. And there would be Leviticus 30. Actually, it's not that bad at the moment. It could be worse, but anyway. So here we have it, and there's actually strongs in that. It's not showing the strongs, but if I remember, if you just do like this, it actually does have a way of actually. It's not the easiest thing to do and all that, but and it seems like the strongs doesn't work that I actually have installed, because I'm not sure why. You're pushing, and it's just come in the first. It just becomes up with the Saparat, for example, and I need to push down there to get more information. But apparently it goes to the KM Hebrew dictionary instead of the other dictionary that I have. But it goes on to rash, skin, eruption, so it does have a little of but yeah, it was foolish of me to delete. I deleted pretty much this one and this one and this short one, and started over with the the resources and all that, and then I lost the ESV, because the ESV you can't download it anymore. So thanks for that. But sadly, I don't think the Strongs works in this program either yet. But they're really working on Bible time, so who knows? And Bible had the possibility of Strongs, and again like this. So that was actually pretty good, but you just need to down. But of course, I was so stupid to actually, and I don't have a what do you call it, a backup. So that's kind of annoying, and yeah, that's just how it is. You get the well, what can I say? The ESV is just I think it's just so sad that it was nice that they actually made it freely available. It was just stupid to close it down. That's just bullshit, I think. Not to let the how can you actually take something back that you're actually giving? Wouldn't you need a new version to actually say, hey, you apparently not. But anyway, so they don't get any points from me on that accord, that's for sure. But I still have it in this program, so at least I have it in one of the. So it's just annoying when you're trying to do research and all that, and they just make things difficult for you because I don't, it should be the same file that Bishop is using, that Bible Time Mobile and Bible is using, but I don't know how to fix that. I can't even figure out where the file is, in this program. So, yeah, anyway. So, getting back to this one. And if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and shall be showed unto the priest. And the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that had the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the plague on the 7th day. If the plague be spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in the skin, or any work that is made of skin, the plague is a fretting, a pain, a prick, an irritate, a leprosy. It is unclean. He shall therefore burn that garment, whether warp or woof, in woolen or in linen, or anything of skin. So skin, that would, you could have skin hide, wherein the plague is, for it is a fretting, it's a pain, prick, irritating, be in pain, leprosy. It shall be burned in the fire. So if you have any clothing that is, you need to burn in the in the fire. Yeah. And if the priest shall look and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof or in anything of the skin, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing therein, wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall command that they wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after that it is washed, and behold, if the plague have not changed his color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean. Be not spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt burn it in the fire. It is a fret inward, whether it be bare within or without. And if the priest look and behold the plague be somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appear still in the garment, either in warp or in woof or in other thing of skin, it is a spreading of plague. Thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. I guess we... anyway. And the garment, either warp or woof, or whatsoever thing of skin it be, which thou shalt wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the second time, and shall be clean. So, and the garment, whether warp or woof, or whatsoever thing of skin it be, which thou shalt wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the second time, and shall be clean. This is the law of the plague of leprosy in the garments of woolen or linen, either in the warp or woof, or anything of skins, and to pronounce it clean or to pronounce it unclean. So again, I guess here we see what kind of clothing these people would have been wearing or having on them, woolen or linen or skin, natural things, I remember, I was shocked when I found out that we're actually going around with plastic on our bodies, in so many ways. I remember my chemistry teacher, one of them at least, and she was like, in regards of, oh, it's so nice, we can reuse the bottles up in plastic to make clothing. And I was like, what? What are you telling me? Are you telling me we're actually using plastic to make the clothing that we have on? That doesn't seem like a good idea, So going around wearing plastic? Anyway. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look and behold, if let's see, this is in regards to the leper in the day of his cleansing. She shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive, and clean the cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop. So we have scarlet is in regards of the crimson, probably the insect, Cocos elysis, the dried body of the female, yielding coloring matter from which is made the dye used for clothes to color it scarlet or crimson. I'm not sure why that wouldn't be considered unclean, but anyway, because it's a worm. I saw something because some believe in regards of the Bible that in regards of this female, the children are eating her, and the blood, the red blood, colors these babies and all that. But she gives her life for these, and color them red and so forward. So some believe that the Bible actually is pointing to this as well. In regards of Jesus, being a worm and all that. So anyway, in regards to that prophecy, and it's very interesting, and there's some people that have done information. I don't know about it, but it's interesting for sure. But I would have thought that this animal would actually be be unclean, Then shall a priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop. Then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive. Then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. I'm not sure how that is. As for the living bird, he shall take it and the cedar wood and the scarlet and the hyssop, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. So running water, is that over the running water? Over the run. So be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. So I guess the water is running downward. And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed. And he shall sprinkle upon him that be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into the open field, and shall let the living bird loose into the open field. And he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes, and shave all his hair, and wash himself in water, and he may be clean. And after that he shall come into the camp, and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. And shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. But it shall be on the 7th day that he shall shave all his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows. So even your eyebrows you need to take off here. Even all of his hair he shall shave off. He shall wash his clothes. Also he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. And on the 8th day he shall take 2 of the lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish, and 3 tenth deals of fine flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and 1 log of oil. As a note, the daughter of her year of the Hebrew, the daughter of her year, I'm not sure about that. The daughter of, I don't know. And the priest that maketh him clean shall present the man that is to be made clean, and those things before Jehovah at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So I think it's before the door of the tent, right? I don't know why they actually don't just write it tent, at the door of the tent of the congregation, I don't know, of the appointed time, actually, appointing meeting. And the priest shall take 1 he lamb and offer him for a trespass offering, and the log of oil, and the wave them for a wave offering before Jehovah. And he shall slay the lamb in the place where he shall kill the sin offering and the burnt offering in the holy place. So he's killing him in the holy place. For as the sin offering is the priest, so is the trespass offering It is most holy. So it's Ru Kodesh, okay. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall take some of the log of the oil. Log, that's just interesting. Log of oil, and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle of the oil with his finger 7 times before Jehovah. And of the rest of the oil that is in his hand shall the priest put upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the trespass offering. And the remnant of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall pour upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before Jehovah. And the priest shall offer the sin offering, and make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed from his uncleanness, and afterward he shall kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall offer the burnt offerings and the meat offering upon the altar, and the priest shall make an atonement for him, and he shall be clean. Atonement, a kafar. Okay, a cover. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be waved to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil. And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering, and to be. But wouldn't a lamb cost more than a pigeon or a bird? I don't know. For a trespass offering to be waved to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil. Isn't it actually? I don't understand. Yeah. And 2 turtle doves, and 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to get, and the one shall be sin offering, and the other a burnt offering. And this seems so. I don't understand. Or 2 young pigeons. I don't understand how did. And he shall bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing unto the priest unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Jehovah. And the priest shall take the lamb of the trespass offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Jehovah. And he shall kill the lamb of the trespass offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, upon the great toe of his right foot. And the priest shall pour of the oil into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Jehovah. Seems somewhat of the same practice again. And the priest shall put off the oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the trespass offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he shall put upon the head of him that is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before Jehovah. And he shall offer the one of the turtle doves or of the young pigeons, such as he can get, even such as he is able to get, the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, with the meat offering. Let's see if we can get that away. With the meat offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him that is to be cleansed before Jehovah. This is the law of him in whom is the plague of leprosy, whose hand is not able to get that which pertaineth to his cleansing. And Jehovah spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, it seems like, is it me that read this? I don't know if it just seems like it's, in regards, I don't know, it seems like it's actually more expensive if you don't have that I must be understanding something wrong here. But anyway, and Jehovah spake unto Moses and unto Aharon, saying, when you come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in the house of, here we go in regards of the leprosy, negar, is the same word, negar, of leprosy, zara'at, in a house of the land of your possession. So this seems to be the same thing, and as they understand it, that's fungi. So if the fungi is said to be fungi in the clothing and in regards to the home, well, it might also be in regards to the body, right? And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seemeth to me that there is it were a plague in the house. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean, and afterward the priest shall go in to see the house. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house, with hollow streaks, greenish or reddish, which inside are lower than the wall. Which inside are lower? I guess it goes into the wall, I guess, I don't know. Then the priest shall go, lower. That must be like going into, I don't know. Maybe that's the idea of it, I'm not entirely sure. Low, humble. And then the priest shall, mildew and mold, as in regards of differences, apparently, in regards of one of them, apparently, you can wash off pretty easy, because it's just on the surface, whilst the other is going into the things. Anyway, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days. And the priest shall come down, shall come again the 7th day, and shall look. Again, we have a lot of these 7 things, 7, 7, 7. Of course, a lot of the Bible is in regards to 7-day weekend. Then of course you have the 14 days as well, or 40, 40, 40. Yeah, there's a lot of those as well. Anyway, and the priest shall come again. What was in regards to 40 and 50? Oh yeah. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city. And he shall cause the house to be scraped within, round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and he shall take other mortar and shall plaster the house. And if the plague come again and break out in the house after that he had taken away the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy. There we go with the fretting again. A ma'ah, a pain, a prick, an irritate. Fretting leprosy in the house, it is unclean. And he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, and he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the even. So moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean until the even. Is that in regards to when he's finished and maybe taking a bath, is he then considered clean? Or he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that lieth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. But would you want to be in the house if there's, if it's unclean? And if the priest shall come in and look upon it, and behold, the plague had not spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. Oh, that's in regards of if it's actually, I guess it's a little hard to figure out, but anyway. But that seems to be if it actually doesn't break out. And he shall take to cleanse the house 2 birds and cedar wood and scarlet and hyssop. And he shall kill the one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood and the hyssop and the scarlet and the living bird and dip them in the blood of the slain bird and in the running water and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he shall clean the house with the blood of the bird. No, he shall cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. But he shall let go the living bird out of the city into the open fields, and make an atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. An atonement for the house. This is the law for all manner of plague, of leprosy and scald. Okay. And for the leprosy of a garment and of a house, and for a rising and for escape and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean and when it is clean. This is the law of leprosy. I guess fungus maybe? This is, because in clothing a mildew or mold, in buildings a mildew or mold, and mildew and mold is just fungi. In people, malignant skin disease, well, we know that fungi has a issue of making havoc onto people. So, anyway, so we pretty much got through that. But I do wonder if there might be a better word for leprosy, maybe in regards of being a fungi. This is the law of fungi. I don't know. I might be told, but as you can see, leprosy, what is A, B, C? In people, malignant skin disease. In clothing, a mildew or mold. C, in buildings, a mildew or mold. So what could it be if the same word is used for clothing and buildings? Well, what could be the cause of the sickness in the people? Well, maybe. Well, and of course we know that the sickness in the person can also come into the clothing, right? So there you already have a link. If the thing that is in the clothing is actually a mildew or mold, and the person has it upon himself as well, what is it? Well, it should be the same thing, right? A fungi. So, anyway, I'm just, I don't know. I was just trying the best that I can. So I think the next one is going away from that subject. Here we go. And Jehovah spake unto Moshe and to Aharon, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man had a running issue out of his flesh because of his issue, he is unclean. And I'm not sure in regards to this running issue, if that is also in regards of a sickness, or are we talking about a release in regards of, and this shall be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue, or his flesh be stuffed from his issue, it is uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lied that hath the issue is unclean. So every bed whereon he lied that he had the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean. And whosoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean unto the even. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat, that had the issue, shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean unto the even. And he that touches the flesh of him that had the issue, shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean unto the even. And if he that had the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean unto the even. And what saddle whosoever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean. Anyway, we pretty much got through the fungi thing. And a lot of weird, anyway. The boils and all that, I don't know. But I guess maybe reading it and researching more in regards of fungi, one will get at the point of getting more understanding of the things, right? So, anyway, I guess have a good week, all of you. And may Jehovah bless you, may he be with you, and may Yeshua be that most precious pearl. And don't let go of him when you have figured out who he is, because Satan will try to take him away from you. May the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. Have a good one. All of you. Bye-bye.